In case you hadn't realised, we are not legal experts, which is why we've teamed up with White Dalton Motorcycle Solicitors to bring you free legal advice. Hello and welcome to Legal Corner with Gav from White Dalton. As ever, how are you, Gav?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. Yes. Enjoying the nice weather.
Yeah. Nice to be here at 44 Teeth HQ.
Yeah.
And the ride in was dry. Again.
Wow.
Love it.
I think we're going to get a whole week of dry weather.
Be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because I've ridden to work, Jan, Feb, and it was like, you need a jet ski.
Yeah.
You don't need a bike, you need a jet ski.
Yeah.
So here's hoping for a nice summer.
What is the topic of conversation today?
Today, the topic is going to be heavies. So large vehicles, okay? I'm talking vans, I'm talking buses, lorries and things like that.
Right.
A couple of videos, actually, to run through with the viewers today. Take care around these heavies because what have we learned? Sight lines, visibility, not just for you, for other road users, as well as the heavies themselves.
And let's be honest with you, hitting one of those big vehicles, there's no good outcome, is there?
No, it's always going to end up worse for the biker. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did someone say to me when I was talking to them about this? And they said...
Size doesn't matter?
No, they didn't say that.
Oh, damn.
They were like, with a heavy, you either want to be behind it or in front of it or in the middle of passing it. You don't sit alongside these things.
No.
So the first video, actually, if we can run that, 44 Teether, this chap.
Oh, yeah?
So as ever, I don't mention names, but they'll know who they are. Gave us permission to use the video. It's a bus that caused the problem this time round.
So this is the 44 T for driving?
No, he's the biker.
Oh, he's the biker, right.
He's the
Sorry,
biker.
right.
Yeah. So bus passes the junction, as you'd expect. Well, okay, I say the bus driver's the problem. The BMW driver is clearly the problem.
Yes.
But the topic is about sightlines, visibility. And the minute you get a heavy entering a junction like that, especially in and around London, the roads are tight enough anyway. They take up most of the road. BMW driver, it's just...
That makes me fuming. Just assuming that it's clear because they didn't see a car come in and therefore it's clear. I mean, just...
Do you know what part of it was as well? I think that BMW driver might have seen the learner driver coming to their left.
Ah, right, okay.
So, and do you know what they always do? I better just nip out in front of them because I don't want to get stuck behind a learner driver, doing 90 miles per hour and a 30. And lo and behold, the biker's there doing absolutely nothing wrong.
Go on. Sorry, go on.
Well, I was going to say, do you think that could have been avoided? I don't think it could.
It's tricky, isn't it? Because you assume that car is going to stop and not pull out. And I don't know, can the bike see it? I don't think they can because the bus, just about now, they might be able to see it. But the bus moves across so quickly. And I think his focus is on the bus and not a car pulling out of junction, which rightly so.
Yeah.
It's your right way.
And we don't have to put on the biker this counsel of perfection, which is you must be the best rider in the world and look at every hazard and already think it out. You go, well, there's a car there at a give way. He should give way, I'm on the major route, so I can, travel at 30 in a 30 or 20 in a 30. 20 in a 20. So I think it's unfair on the biker to say, well, you should have known he was going to pull out.
Yeah.
No, there's an expectation.
It's not his fault, ultimately. So.
No. Learner driver does well. What an emergency stop.
Great, to
stop squashing the biker that's rolling around on the floor.
I think the winner there is the learner driver there. Congratulations.
Well done. I hope you've passed your test and you're going to be a sensible driver. Bus driver left the scene, not involved. There's an argument that it's a multi.
But he didn't know. Surely, did he know? Of course he can't have known.
No, I think he's past the junction, just driven off and completely oblivious to what's happened behind him.
Yeah.
But there's no blame on his part.
No.
The reason I raised that, we've had cases in the past where cars pulling out go, well, actually, it was his fault and my visibility was lessened by them being there. It's a ridiculous argument, but we've had it, especially when people are trying to argue their way out of liability. Thankfully, on this one, BMW driver, hands up, I made a mistake, 100% win without too much of a fight. Which means, the case then becomes about value. What is it worth? I won't mention that. It's ongoing, albeit the liability aspect has been settled.
I mean, those sort of... Sorry, Gav, just to interject quickly. There's got to be so many of those sort of cases in London. Hundreds every week, surely.
Yeah, yeah. I've spoken about values before. You know what? When you can use a lawyer and when you can't. If you're in and around London and they're low speed accidents and you go, I might have trashed my bike, you know, I've got some damage to it, but actually I jumped off and I'm okay. Us lawyers call that a small claim. As in, if you were to go to court, it would be allocated to the small claims track. The reason that's important is because legal costs are not recoverable. So, yeah, we do get phone calls very often from bikers going, this has happened. I'm not injured, thankfully. And we go, brilliant, you're not injured. That's really good. But it makes it a small claim. So you go, you can instruct us, but because legal costs are not recoverable, you're paying the legal costs.
Right, okay.
And it makes it not economic. You go, I've got £2,000 worth of bike damage. And I go, well, you're going to spend £2,000 on lawyers. Why would you do it? You know,
So
I brought the case, I won, but I paid all the money to my lawyers. So anything below £10,000 generally will be a small claim. If there's an injury element, that's when it can push it out of a small claim into a fast track, intermediate or multi-track where legal costs are recoverable. But yeah, I suspect there's lots of this going on in London.
Yeah.
And every other town, actually. I've got another video to show the viewer. Again, the topic is big vehicles. This time, a van. Would you have gone down the inside there?
That's. I mean, look, just on first view, there's a space there, and in towns and cities, we kind of tend to do that. And I probably would have done it, not thinking, but it looks like the van's turning right or straight on. So, yeah, I don't know. That's a tricky one, that one.
He's not indicating, so I can see why he's gone up the inside, especially when vehicles there can turn left or right. I mean, he just bonked him, hasn't he, and driven off.
Yeah.
100% win, which is good.
Oh, good.
But it got
Blimey, really? 100%?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 100% win for the biker.
Was he injured?
So, slightly, thankfully, because he does a really good job of bouncing off. Not as you get older, you don't bounce that well.
No.
If that had been me, I'd have been twisted up underneath the bike, you know. But you just don't bounce.
Making animal noises.
Yeah, quite. But it got me thinking about the campaign they've had. You know, if you look at trucks these days that have got a great big illuminated sign on the back that says a bicycle cross through.
Oh
it,
yes,
you know,
yeah.
Don't
blind spot.
don't undertake me on the left here. You know, brought about by, sadly, the deaths that we see normally from cyclists in and around London and areas like that. But classic example, do you want to be putting yourself there? No.
Yeah.
I can see why the biker did. You know, I'm struggling to give him a huge amount of criticism. But be aware, thankfully, not that badly injured.
Oh, good.
So
good.
You know, that's positive. What I'll do, I think, if you have any videos that you'd like to see on the channel,
Yes.
and you want to have a legal breakdown on them, send them across to us.
Yes,
you can
good
send,
idea.
Send them to Al or send them to me at
Yeah.
White Dalton. I can put the email address if you want below, so you can send us links. I tend to talk about cases that have either settled or liabilities have been admitted or agreed, whatever that split may be, and we'll do a legal breakdown and a Q&A session on it.
Nice. Is that all, Gav?
That's all today.
Yeah.
For events, actually, if you're going to Misano this year,
Yes.
Ducati World Week.
Are you going?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Absolutely.
Good.
Yeah. So hopefully down there on
Taking
my
GS?
Don't joke. I laughed. I was going to wrap it red and put some Ducati stickers on it because I love that bike. It's so comfortable.
Call it a multi-strada.
Yeah. But no, I'll be taking the 848, which oh man, they're so small, aren't they? The bikes are this tiny.
Yeah.
So yeah, a group of guys. If you're going to Ducati World Week in Misano, we'll see you down there. I think you're going to be there.
We'll be there.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so a bit of a trip for us. We're going to start in Switzerland, ride through the mountains, get to Misano, have a weekend there, and then have a ride back. So may well see you there.
Lovely.
3rd, 4th of July, 2026.
Yes. Yeah. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
And one final thing, if you haven't booked already, Portimao.
Oh, yeah. I'll put another link in there.
Yeah, for the dates. It's for Gogo's track day in his memory. If you haven't booked it, go on the website. The link's below. Book on, and we'll see you at Portimao for some fun on track.
Thanks, Gav. See you in the next one.
Thanks, Al. See you soon.